Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be another one of my prioritization videos where the game's got all these things where it can distract you, show you flashy objects, just kind of, distract you if you're a dog chasing squirrels around the yard and always just can't keep your focus. So, and I've mentioned this in other videos and I'll mention it again here that, my situation's different than yours. Which is different than someone else's, and all over the place. Maybe I've spent money, maybe you've spent money, maybe neither of us spent any money. Maybe you started sooner than I did. Maybe you're in a better alliance than I am. Maybe I'm in a better alliance than you are. There's just, and then the RNG factor of orbs, mega orbs, premium orbs, all kinds of different things, shard drops. So these different things could, factor in what I focused on first or what you focused on first. But generally speaking in the game, I think, unless you're a big blubbery whale who started the game really early or someone who's starting new, generally speaking, most priorities are going to be, somewhat close to each other. So, and we all maybe have characters we like differently, so that could, weigh in there as well. So, having said that, I'm hoping this video helps you, prioritize what you really want to be looking at. And to start, I'm just going to kind of scroll through my roster here so you can kind of see where I'm at, generally speaking, from a power standpoint. My CP is, and that's collection power. What is it? Around, I'm not going to click it because I don't want to share the PID, but it's in the 900 range, so I'm approaching that million mark, but I've got quite a ways to go. So anyway, having said that, you can see I've got a number in the 30s, a few in the mid to high 20s, and then, a few teams in that mid to low 20s. Most of those were generated to help me get through the Ultimate 6 raid, which I'll share kind of where I'm at with that in a second, because it does affect my priorities. And you can just see I've got Loki and Doctor Strange coming up a bit. Venom here, I got lucky and had a lot of good RNG with him, so I've got him 6-starred. I've really been debating kind of uploading or, upgrading some of these. I think he's going to be, a terror here, especially with this, level 6 and eventually this level 7 bleed for 2 turns. That might be worth it on its own. But I've got some other guys I'm kind of prioritizing a little bit, and there's not, outside of this Deadpool raid with city villains, there's not a whole lot of use for him outside of Blitz at the moment. So you'll notice that my shield team's kind of low. I just haven't got Nick Fury and then my defenders. So anyway, most of these other ones down here are probably, what you should leave this low outside of maybe Iron Fist. But anyway, you get the idea of kind of where I'm at. Scientist Supreme not unlocked yet, and the other ones are kind of tough unlocks anyway. So I briefly mentioned, Ultimus. So earlier today, I actually shared a video showing my first attempt at the final boss node, just for fun. I just kind of wanted to try it out. And then one of my alliance mates tried it out as well with his Storm and ended up getting it pretty low. And I decided, you know what? We cannot just leave that node at, 500K or whatever it was. So I went in there and finished it off. So, having done that and having run my lane, which is this outside lane here, as you can see my mouse moving, I run this outside lane with an alliance partner to kind of get to this point. You can see my alliance partner here, who typically comes in, clears a couple nodes here, and clears this line. I get kind of these easier, to start nodes, and then, work up the path. We kind of combo. So anyway, towards the end here, I used a lot of Storm. And not that it's a secret that she's solid, but I'm really liking where she's kind of at in the game. And I've recently upgraded her ultimate and decided to actually upgrade her passive as well. And you'll see in a second when I go to the spreadsheet, but I just want to click on her while I'm talking about her so you can see kind of where I've got her at. I'm using her early in raids to build up, and then even again later to build up some more so I can use the Ice Storm. So yeah, you can see she's not crazy high. I'm definitely now going to focus her a bit gear-wise, which again I'll show you in the list in a second. But nothing crazy. I mean, obviously the 6 stars helped. That was mainly from blitzes. So yeah, so there's my Storm, and I'll get to the specifics of her here in a second. Let me pull up this spreadsheet. All right, so for those of you not familiar with the spreadsheet, basically the way it works is I've got columns that show the dates of my priorities. So my last YouTube video was, roughly a week ago. a little under a week. So these were the priorities that week. And if you scroll to the right, and again, the link to this spreadsheet will be in the description. If you scroll to the right, you will see, I'm just trying to pull this up a little bit. Oh, sorry about that. If you scroll to the right, you will see the other videos that or the other rankings that I've done for the priorities over the course of the last several weeks. So anyway, like I said, this was the one that I did, whatever, 5 days ago. And then this one I was kind of working on and then just kind of edited some things in the last day or two that I thought, you know what, I need to share this one because I thought there were some quite a dramatic swings that I had on this. So first at the top, I'm still pushing these Guardians 7-star, and I'm actually going to jump back and forth a little bit here just to kind of help you guys understand a little bit why. So, I mean, the obvious part is Guardians are great, Star-Lord, etc. But you guys can kind of see my Rocket is, 81 shards away. My Groot is, what is that? 163, or I'm sorry, 143 away from being 7-star. And then my Yondu, he's like right there. I mean, he'll get it without even spending anything. 30 shards. So I'm just farming that. I'm not even refreshing the nodes. So if it came down to it where I'd have to buy something, I guess I would. I wouldn't be happy about it. But I'm pretty certain he's going to get there. So maybe I start refreshing the nodes a little bit. But anyway, so you can see, I'm right there with that 7-star Guardians and Ravagers team. And I really want to make sure that the next time that Star-Lord event comes out that I can 7-star him. So that way that will drop way to the bottom. And like I said, it's right there. Making probably the biggest jump on this list is my Mutants at 5-star. I was just looking at this over the last few days. And, obviously Wolverine and Storm were done previously. Storm's she's a tank, meaning like a stud, not a tank in the game. But and I was like, well, Pyro seems like he could be a really good counter for the Fury team. I'm sure Juggernaut's going to be really good. The global villains, you really need them. There are none. And the way this game works is typically when they've got something like this out, shortly after that, there's going to be something you need them in, whether it's a raid or whatever. So I'm sure in the Juggernaut raid, you're probably going to need, a team of Brotherhood or X-Men or mutants in general to get through certain path. So I was thinking, what, if I can just farm Mystique up a bit, the events with Juggernaut and Pyro probably buy their initial offers, depending how expensive they are. Hopefully they're cheaper. I don't like anything that's above $20. I really kind of get a little weary about. But hopefully there's, $10 to $20 offers that you can get, 3-4 stars in, depending on the RNG. So anyway, I bumped those up to just, I'm like, what, I wasn't going to go for those, but I think I'm gonna. So the Mystique is probably my biggest concern. I'll go jump back here to the sheet, and let's just go straight up to Mutants to make it simple. So you can see her here. So, I mean, I'm at 30 of 55. Nowhere near 5-star, and it's a lot of shards and not a lot of time. I'm refreshing the nodes up until it gets to 100, and then I stop. The drop rates are pretty abysmal, but I don't know. I'm just thinking that I want to try to really get her. Like I said, Wolverine and Storm are already 6 stars. Could 7-star Wolverine, but he's terrible, so I'm not gonna. So if I can get, I keep working on Mystique, hopefully get Juggernaut and Pyro to 5 stars. That's Magneto right there. So that's really, I decided to put that at my number 2 spot. Coming at the 3 spot, which made it actually probably the biggest jump, as you can see, actually. So I take that back. It wasn't the Mutants, it was Merc 6. So, and that was because of with the Deadpool raid, I was able to 6-star him. So all I have left to get 6 stars for the Mercs event is Bullseye and Merc Lieutenant. I'm quite a ways off, so I'm not sure I'm going to get it by the next time. So this will probably stick around for a few videos. Excuse me. But I do want to make sure that I farm those shards prior to moving on to anything else. The next one, which I kind of alluded to for quite a bit here, was the Raid Blitz type team. You can see it says Raid Key Players, Storm Gear. What I mean by that is, I've not got her abilities. I'm pretty, I'll talk about this again for a second. So let's click on Storm. I've got her Ride the Wind up at 3. I could obviously upgrade that level 4. I don't think there's a point at this point. I'm not running her with an X-Men team. Obviously, for the Magneto release, I will need, or she will have 1 X-Men and Wolverine, but to upgrade for 140 T3 mats just for, you know, a 40% chance to get an assist from a Wolverine at this point, not worth it to me. So I don't want to spend that. Storm of the Century is built up. Obviously, I need to be level 70. I need to have a ton of orange mats to get that. That's going to just nuke people. But again, I'm not, I don't know. I'm not really using that a ton. A little bit I am, but I'm mainly using her special, which I was like, oh, maybe I should upgrade her special. So I did some math on this, and you can kind of see the next upgrade is a 10% chance to apply slow per charged. So let's just look at that for a second. So, you know, the base is 40% chance to apply slow. So straight up off the bat, you're getting 40%. Got to charge the phone a little bit there. And then for every charge, just slow is increased by 10% per charge. So in theory, if you've got 6 charges, it's a 100% chance to slow. So what this upgrade does is another 10%. So if you're at 40, you only need 3 charges to get that slow off at 100%. So I'm kind of thinking like, sorry, just a bunch of junk mail coming through. I'm kind of going through here and just going, do I really need to, do I need to spend on that? I'm like, you know, am I going to use it? It seems like a blitz / PvP type thing. So in 3 charges, I could 100% slow this. That's great, but it's like, all right. And then level 6, like another 10% chance to slow. To me, this is more about the damage. So it increases this 40 here, where it can be 50% chance to slow each target, which, again, if you want a 100% chance, it's 10% chance. At level 5, it's per charged. So you're at 50. So you're getting 20 per charge. So one charge is 70, another charge is 90. Well, you're not at 100, so it's like, well, if I want a 100% chance, I need to do a 3rd charge still. So that doesn't make any sense to me. I hope they change this level 6 to, you know, a plus chance to stun, maybe a +5 chance to, you know, to apply a stun, or, you know, because if you do a +10 chance to apply a stun, it's probably too OP. But, you know, and then again in level 7, it's more damage and more chance to slow per charge. I'm like, no, I'm not. So anyway, I'm not upgrading those. So really it's about her, you know, you could do the basic for more damage. That'll be nice. And obviously this is huge. If you're doing that nuke, it's, you don't really need it for the slow because, you know, as mentioned, you're going to, you know, hit where you need to do the slows, you know, in 5-ish charges. So, so this is about damage and then the Storm of the Century. So I don't see myself using a lot of the ability upgrades there. This is really about gear as far as the priority list goes. So, you know, I'm going to be pushing these. You know, I've got quite a little bit of advanced basic catalyst parts needed, or otherwise known as ABCs. But I'll be doing that to get her to tier 10, and then depending where everything's at, try to get her close to tier 11 as well. So wanted to walk through that a little bit just to kind of explain, you know, why I've got, you know, Storm where I've got her at, and just why I'm saying Storm gear specific. So defenders, again, I want to get them up, and then I want to make them, you know, stronger, obviously. But I've just got some other priorities up going right now. So it's just not happening. I want to. They're close, but a little bit far away. Dark Dimension, again, I don't need to keep copying that new category. Take that off. It's not a new category anymore. But Black Panther and Night Nurse, those are the ones that I'm really trying to focus on there. And just, you know, get them there. I'm not really trying. So honestly, a lot of times I'm not really bringing those in. But they're there if I want them. So Kree, Nick Fury, it's just, man, I'm so far behind on that. And there's so many other things coming. This just keeps falling down the list. You know, you can see it here. I had it at 5-star. I wasn't even able to do anything with it. So it just keeps dropping. And these other ones are probably easier. So the defenders are coming up while Fury's falling down. Mystic, again, I'm not really close on getting that, but it's there. So if I get to the point where, you know, I'm past all these other ones up at the top, then I'll go ahead and do it. But anyway, so it's in there. Arena always, it just keeps dropping. Right now I'm still holding top 10-ish, which is pretty solid. But again, it's getting towards the bottom of the list. So, and then kind of rounding out the bottom of this list is single character focus. You know, outside of obviously the one I have above with Storm, is I've got you know, Loki, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Deadpool. They're just there. Shield, Iron Man, 6-star. I technically, because of the Shield drop rate increase, I am, you know, trying to get some Trooper and Medic there, but I only did it for a day, so it's not really worth, you know, putting way up higher on that list. But you know, it's still something I'm trying to do. That'll probably bump up, you know, pretty quickly once some of these other ones kind of fall off and the next Iron Man is, you know, past this current one. And then the rest of these are just kind of your generic, you know, increases outside of the hand here, which I'm so far behind on those 5-star. I'm not, it's way at the bottom of the list. So these other ones I've got down here done. You know, these were way up higher previously, and you can, again, click the link to see the spreadsheet and scroll around and see where they were and how it kind of fluctuated between the top of the list and the bottom of the list. But right now, because I've got all of these done, they're at the bottom, and you can see the bold outlines meaning they're done. So, you know, I've got this note here, like I said, moved mutants up due to the the expectation. Anyway, I'm not going to fix the spelling now, but that some upfront purchases and some lucky, well, I must have been drunk when I did that one, huh? Farming could lead to 5-star. You know, here, you know, just 5 days ago, I was thinking it was way too, you know, out of sight, but the more and more I was doing it and getting some mystique drops, I was like, you know, I really should push for this. So anyway, that's the list. I hope it helps you. Again, if you got any questions or comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this video, you want to see more like it, as well as some walkthroughs and just general strategy type approaches, you know, click that subscribe button as well as that like button, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.